Good evening and welcome to Free to Heal. Tonight we are super blessed because we have Ms. Nicola Doherty, author of Stripped, with us tonight. And Nicola has also, she's, the people that we're trying to talk to, she has insight. There's so many things that Nicola can talk to us about. But I first want to check in for me. You all right? Everything good? All right. You fine? Checking, you good? You good? Yeah. So my check-in is good today too. It was a beautiful day, and then I also got a grant from Councilman Kern Price in the 9th District of Los Angeles, which is really kind of a good thing. So that was a good. Girls was kind of hanging out, and it's probably gonna go down there again, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? We got, we gotta start off right. You know what I'm saying? You start off right, so maybe you end up right.
Right.
But you can't just start off. You know what I'm saying? Where are we going from there? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So anyway, so I wanna give you an opportunity, whatever you want to talk about. So as much of your story, as little of your story, as whatever. I'm shocked you don't have your book in your hand. But I want you to know, is it available on Amazon?
Yes.
Please. Okay. I got the book on a Wednesday. I think it was last Wednesday.
Yeah.
But I was finished the book like yesterday. So mind you, and I don't have a lot of time to read, but it's a page turner. It's a page turner. It is gripping in so many ways. And I learned a lot about you mentioned it last week, how predators groom, how they do the things that they do. Excuse me, I've been a victim, but I didn't know that was what was happening. But the other thing is, what I really admired was your straight honesty. Like, when you knew you was cockeyed wrong, you didn't even try to play, you didn't even try to cover it up. Right. Like, you didn't give no euphemisms or no, oh, well, this doesn't mean, it wasn't exactly like that. No, you took full responsibility for all of your mess. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Your own mess, but and then so we were blessed to exchange books. If you've been, subscribing, if you've been subscribing to Free to Heal, you know that I wrote a book, Hurt People Highway. And Nicola and I didn't have no cash on me, so we just exchanged books. And Nicola has been telling me, she's been scolding me because I haven't really been trying to sell the book. But the thing is that it was an assignment. I did that, and I want to urge you, please go get it, because Nicola said everybody needs it. She said everybody need the book. So, but what I want you to do though is I want you to talk about first those things that you feel most want to discuss. This is your shot for tonight. Whatever you want to discuss, whatever you want them to know, keeping in mind that our purpose for being here is to ensure that we give people information on how to heal from the things that are hurting them. We want people to heal from the ravages of incarceration, whether it was who was incarcerated, meaning the person that was incarcerated, or whether it was like me being the loved one of some incarcerated. I have scars too from the experience, simple things like, I will never, ever forget getting there. This particular visit with my guy, I only had a short window. Mm-hmm. And so getting there, getting number one in the lottery, I was winning. Mm-hmm. Get up there, and the zipper on my pants was setting off the monitor, which meant then I had to leave and go to Friends Outside, which they say doesn't even exist anymore at the prisons. Mm-hmm. I had to go to Friends Outside to change clothes. Of course I was disturbed because I thought my outfit was really cute. Like, these are the psychological things, and you could say it's vain or whatever, but if you only get to see a dude once, once every 6 or 7 months, you really want to look your best. And for me, I felt like it would be inspiring to him. Mm-hmm. So then to turn around and have to go and then come back and then, then get in there and he's distracted. But that visit, it still hurts when I think about it, because it was traumatic. It was an experience I wasn't planning for. I thought I had everything laid out right, and it just didn't go according to plan. But so our goal here, as you know, is to help people to heal. So I just want to give you the floor. First of all, just saying, I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you.
I'm so happy you're here. Like, I know how influential you are, and I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that you're here, and I just want to give you the floor.
Okay, well, thank you. So, hello everybody. My name is Nicola, and I just want to talk just a little bit about my book. I want to give you a synopsis of it. So it talks about at 5, I was molested. At 10, I joined the gangs. At 12, I had my first abortion. However, I had 15 abortions, 6 miscarriages, 7 children, and 5 different baby daddies, which 2 of them was on the down low. So I talked about how I slept with over 70 men in my life. I wasn't on crack. I wasn't on drugs. I just didn't know who I was. I was addicted to gang banging and dick or penis, whatever. I just want to be honest what it was. So it wasn't because I needed money and things like that. It was just, that was my addiction. Everybody have their vice. And so that's what my book talks about. And I just share my story, how I went on a journey where I lost my children. And I was innocent. When I was guilty, they never caught me. When I was an unfit mother, very unfit mother.
Mm-hmm.
I trained my kids in gang banging starting at 1 year old, G'd up with thick red shoestrings.
Shut up.
And so we used to be in cars. We'd be driving down the street. We'd be in Swanhood or somewhere, and they shooting up my car, my kids in the car. I remember one time I dived out one car, left them in the car, and died into the other car trying to save myself. When normally a good mother would try to cover and protect her children. Right. So that was my instance. So that's what I talk about in my book. But there is so much to Nicola where sometimes I don't know where to start from, especially now. I have a lot on my heart, a lot on my mind, and because I want people to be able to be healed like I was in different areas of my life. Right. Because I'm not complete yet. Sure. So I'm not gonna fake like I got it all together. Right. So, but
and see that right there, just that statement right there, that is your superpower to me, is that you're honest. And it also allows you to be helped and to be healed. Because you're not running from who you are, what you did, or any of those things. And you own it. And you just tell them the truth. I'm not complete, but there are areas that you have been healed in, and you're able to help other people in. Yes. So yeah. So mainly, especially about like molestation, that's kind of dear to my heart because at 5 I was molested, and it seemed like I had a stamp on my forehead. Come rape me. I was one of the very beautiful girls in my neighborhood. I had one of the baddest shape, and so it just seemed like the enemy was after my own soul to come get me. And then even I was molested by girls. And one girl, actually my mom's friend, we'll call her my auntie, but her friend, her daughter, smokes a PCP. I told, nothing never happened. And that's what bothers me today. Let me just say this, if I'm able to be free, please. It seems like all my violations by different people, I have nothing ever happened. Nobody suffered consequences for violating. I'm talking about, it seems like they haven't suffered the consequences. But what I have noticed is that they like have spiraled down. And then I've noticed that no matter what I go through, no matter what I suffer from, it seems like God still raised me above. You know what I'm saying? So I never go all the way down in spite of. So the only thing, one of the things that bothered me, is that I still suffer from sometimes the smell of the person. I can smell them. Yesterday, and I was gonna call you, but I thugged it out yesterday. I woke up out my sleep and I had one of my baby daddies was in my bed, who just got out of jail, was literally in my bed, and I was sleeping. I jumped up, but I was dreaming. So they say that's trauma, but I just be saying that's torture. Okay. Torture, you know. So yeah, I still have I don't know what you call it. They say trauma. I still have issues. Post-trauma stress and post-trauma stuff, and it's a real thing. See, because should I be bringing all this out? Heck yeah. Okay. Heck yeah, because let me tell you why. No, heck yeah, because let me tell you why. This is why it's important for us to have these kind of conversations, because some people are not willing to be as open and honest as you are about that. I mean, but let me tell you this. When you started off being molested at 5 years old, that was where it started. So all of what you saw come after that, and then it was reinforced by multiple people molesting you and using you for things. So it is not foreign to me to think that you would actually become addicted to sex.
Mhm.
That's not a stretch to me.
Okay.
That because that was in an odd way what you were taught your value was.
Yep. And I can get whatever I want.
Whatever you wanted. And as you got older, you started using it just for that.
Just for
and
that
look, and the cold part is not hooking,
No.
not that, but using it to get because you knew that it worked. And the thing of it is, you know, I'm so glad to hear you say that you recognize that the times when you were a bad mother, unfit, that you know that you were unfit in ways, right?
Oh, yes.
Because in the book, it doesn't necessarily say that, but knowing you,
Mhm.
right, I know that you acknowledge that, because this is the thing. There were times where people did horrible things to you related to your children.
Yes. All the
Horrible
time.
things.
Mhm.
I was so, when you had said briefly by the time, you said last week briefly that your youngest was kidnapped. And I didn't know what that meant until I finished reading the book.
Mhm.
And did anything ever happen to her?
Oh, didn't I just tell you nothing ever happens?
Nothing.
Yeah. Did you ever see where you was in the book? You helped me
I
go to
did.
court.
I
So
did.
that's-
I did.
When I had a meeting with you, that was the baby with me, my youngest daughter
Yes.
and the baby.
Yes.
And that's the baby that was taken by the babysitter, where they said asked the babysitter for 2 days.
Right.
Her and my mom, but it's a story. And they actually adopted him off illegally. I had a social
Wow.
worker at the time and went all the way to court with me to the end.
Mm-hmm.
And so many lawyers, they made it private and dropped the case. They gave me so many files to run to the media, and me at the time, I believe God, which I still do.
Sure.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It was traumatic. And at the end of the trial, the young lady stated that my mom told her to do it and that she was just a babysitter, and told how she falsified the documents, even after they had my social worker on the stand and says, my client is innocent. These was anonymous callers. It's something between her and her mom because she was molested by her stepfather and her mom ate her. And all that came out. But my son, 22 years old today, he'll be 23 and have major issues. You wouldn't even imagine. He came to see me and it was unreal. And so he went back to her, and
you
here
know,
I am today. And so I'm not,
it's okay. It's okay, baby. Let it out. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Because
I'm not mad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
And like, you really did that to me? And then for them to about to give me foster kids after all what you've done to me. And then you're gonna allow me to get foster kids, and then because I'm gonna be a good foster mother.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But for you to do that, but then you still gave this woman foster kids. And so, but not to have my children, it bothers me a lot. I have 7. But what I would say is that I have to be honest.
Okay. Please.
I love all my children. And I realized that I birthed my own enemies. And you gotta watch who you sleep with.
Yes.
So my genes and his genes, they genes, because you know I slept with all the bloods in LA. So I don't know.
Oh, crazy. Call us I slept with all the bloods in LA.
They just don't mix, but not really all.
Right, yeah.
You know, my baby daddy's bloods.
Right.
But yeah, you just have to
be careful.
Yeah, be careful. But it hurts because I remember in 2011, I was driving. It was Christmas Day. The wee hours I did my client hair. And I was crying, God, why they just take my babies, and why? And I remember it was like I was driving. He spoke from heaven and he said, I asked you, could you handle it? And I remember being at the altar when the lady asked me, can you handle it? I begged for my husband, and begged for my husband and got him back, lost everything I had. And I told him yes, but I didn't know all this was a part of it. But then later on, like now, I realized, how dare you think you can do drive-bys and walk-bys and take somebody else's child.
Children, and then have your own children.
And
yes.
But
yes.
I'm blessed because a lot of my friends at home, these kids are dead.
Right.
But mine is still here. We might not be here with me.
Right.
But they still here, and I still have the opportunity. He's still healing me.
Yes.
He's still delivering me.
And
he still have me where I'm able to, maneuver and move. I still can pray for my kids.
Yes.
So I think I'm one of the blessed women, but I still, again, I have issues, and that's why I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here just to say I'm here to support you or
right.
I want somebody. I do want somebody, whatever it is that you have.
Healing. Yes.
Healing. I need that word. I need that deliverance, whatever it is.
Yes.
That book.
Right.
Oh my God. I mean, I wouldn't have slept with maybe not even 5 of them cats if I would have had that book first.
Right. And that's the thing. That's the cold part, isn't it? Is if we only knew then what we know now, but that's the case all the way around. One of the things, you were just saying something a second ago and it sparked something in me. But it's so much that you said that I want to comment on, but the thought just left me what it was specifically. But I will tell everybody this. One of the things that struck me in reading your book is, and I want everybody to pay attention to this. You even said just now, you said, why are they doing this to me, right? And I want everybody to understand this. A lot of what wound up happening started because you start believing that there was something against you. So now you start producing it yourself. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like all of the times when you talked about how you knew, why am I sleeping with this person? Why am I doing this? And you even mentioned this, and it was amazing to me. I kept thinking, why didn't you use birth control? And you said it in the book. You said in the book, like, and I never did. Mm-hmm. And it's just it's an amazing concept because ultimately your kids needed a mother, and thankfully there was somebody to take them, no matter what the circumstances were. Right. Right. Another thing that I found interesting is that your youngest son at one point was like, please don't send me back to her. Yeah. He didn't want to go back to her, but then now at this point, he ultimately went back to her. But you see, he was also the victim of that abuse cycle, right? So we tend to gravitate a lot of times to that after, and you said it, you said like, we tend to gravitate to the abusers, and it's like that Stockholm syndrome. We fall in love with those that abuse my
abusers. That's what happened in the book. I fall in love with your abusers.
And then we also begin to think that it's the way, that it's normal, and and it's not normal. And also, this is the thing: when there's a lot of sexual abuse that takes place. I think a lot of it is overblown, honestly, about prison life. Right. I think it's overblown, but it does happen. And I will also say this, though. A lot of the women that were in prison, I would say out of 199 had been sexually assaulted in one way or another. Mm-hmm. I know I did was in a documentary, and I asked, it was about 8 of us, and it was like, who else been molested? Everybody but one of us raised their hands. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying that to say this, it causes a lot of things. A lot of women turn to drugs to heal from that, to medicate from the pain. And it's usually somebody close to you or somebody that is a person put in a position of trust. But like you say, they scope the whole family out and are studying all of that so that they can get to you. But this is the thing. The only way that Nicola could heal from any of it at all is to be honest with herself and to work on her, not trying to work on the other people. And when you have been the victim as many times as she has, it is very difficult But things begin to spiral, and then her behavior after that, as the result of that, started creating karma, which caused a lot of that stuff to keep cycling back.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Like you was just saying, and I'm come right to you, like you were saying, how can I think I could take somebody else's children and I'm gonna have mine? Right. And everything gonna be all right.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You can't, it don't work like that. You cannot do wrong and then expect everything's gonna be okay with you. I want to come right to you, sir.
I'm just curious about one thing. You were a gangbanger, right?
Yes.
Why didn't you cap that some bitches later when you got a little older? No, I'm not trying to be funny.
Ooh,
I'm
laughing because I just have to be honest. Just the beginning of, I think January, February, I go through some every so often. Let me just say that. I really don't want to say this, but I'm gonna just say it. And I contemplate it every so often. But I have to remember, I have to take that back to the cross, because it's not in my power to do that no more. I don't need his blood on my hand.
Yeah, I know.
I already have.
Okay,
I understand
that. But back when you were gangbanging,
it was normal to us then. It happened, you moved on with life. You be preoccupied with a whole bunch of other stuff. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that.
And then you.
And this is the thing. So yeah, because that's the truth of the matter, right?
Yeah.
This is, and a lot of people, and listen, and I want to look everybody in the face and tell them, and the motherfucker would have deserved it.
Yeah. And
let's be clear.
Yes.
I'm talking about by street law. I'm talking about by hood rules and hood law. We ain't talking about the government. I'm talking about hood law. He deserved it because he was a serial rapist. He was a serial molester.
He was a killer.
He was and not only just a physical killer, but a soul snatcher.
Yes.
Soul snatching killer. He stole your innocence. He stole your childhood, and on top of it, stole your relationship with your mother.
Oh yes, and my siblings. Took everything. And he's still alive. 80. And they just called me yesterday. They needed some help.
To do what?
He smoked some Sherm, went to Salt Park, came back all his teeth out. So they calling me.
To do what?
I don't know. So I told him, you got to call on Jesus.
Hello.
Yesterday.
Did they really call you? You know what? See.
You don't understand.
Okay. All right.
I don't matter. I don't matter.
Okay.
I know we.
Let me say this.
You guys.
Listen. No. This is why it's important. Because let me tell you why this is important. The worst thing that happened, the worst part about your story is not even the molestation. And I bet people could think, how could you say that?
It's not.
The worst part was the response to it. It was the lack of response to it. Nobody ever stood up and defended her. And then your one brother who would halfway got murdered. So it's like taking.
No, you just did something. I'm sorry, you just struck something. You forgot that they locked me up in a mental institution.
Yeah, more than once.
More than once.
But they knew, they had to know.
And her friends worked in every children's social services. They worked in the county.
No.
And they was businessmen and gladiators. They all worked in.
No, they weren't social service workers in no way. Ooh, cola. Okay, see, so now when you say that, right?
I mean what I say.
No, listen, when you say that, what she just told me make me want to fight. Because seriously, like, how could you guys do that? How could you all? But see, she kept telling them you was crazy.
Yes,
she kept telling
today.
Yeah. She was telling them you was crazy. But and see, maybe now too, there's so much more information about how children behave as the result of that kind of violation at such a young age. So I had a friend of mine, we actually were roommates at one point, and she was a custodian, and she also worked sometimes at a childcare center. And there was a little girl, the little girl was 3, coming to the childcare center. And every time a man would walk in the room, the little girl would lay down and open her legs.
Wow.
she would just lay down and open her legs. Because at 3, she figured that's what she's supposed to do by that point. And so I'm saying that to say, people don't often think about what is the result of that. What does that say to a child? And in your case, what it said to you was where your value was sexual.
Yeah.
Right? And it turned into a sexual addiction.
Yeah.
See, so people want to throw off, and you don't know what causes people to be in the way that they are. And it's not fair just to judge from up on high.
I'm not judging up on high.
No, I'm about judging her.
I'm not judging her. I'm just saying I can't understand why she didn't cap them. If somebody did something to my sister or any female in my family, from the time I was 16, they wouldn't have seen daylight. And I wouldn't give a rat's if he was the president of the United States.
Well, and the thing of it is that this though, see, because so now how long was he with your mom? Is he still with her? Is she still with him?
She died 2014.
So she was with him until she died. They never broke up.
And before she died, she was on her sick bed before I delivered the message to her that she was leaving here, whatever the message God gave me. And I went, took care of her, washed her butt and everything. And she asked me, what is the Lord saying? And I told her, and I prayed for her, talked to her, and I went home, and my niece called me because she went totally blind. But she went totally blind. She was, where she couldn't use her hands, her feet, or nothing. So she had my niece put the phone to her ear, and we were talking on the phones. I thought we was making progress. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go take care of her. I was a CNA, so I know how to take care of her. Let me go and give up my life. I'm not far. I'm in Marino Valley. Let me do that, and I can give her the word and help her. So she called me that day, and she said, we were just talking, and she said, you know what? I'm not a cursor, but
go.
She said, you know what, bitch? She said, I hate you. Yeah, you wanted my man. Ha ha ha, start laughing. Yeah, you wanted to suck his dick. It was like a demon spoke through her. Yeah, you wanted to suck his dick. You talking about he molested you? And from that day, I'll never forget, it was 2012, I broke down and cried like I've never cried before. And I asked God, how is it that she could get away with this? And after that, we hung up, and they begged me to come take care of her, and I said, I will not.
No.
I will not. And then I want to say this. God showed me a dream. It was like a video, and I never knew what I looked like because she never had pictures in the house of me as a kid, but she had pictures of everybody. So as a little girl, I never knew what I looked like as 2, 3, 4 years old, not even a baby. And he showed me in the video, I was 2 years old, that I was molested actually at 2. And he told me to forgive. And when I woke up, I was laying prostrate. And whatever was in my body at the time that caused, I had illness, I was healed from it.
Yes.
And I got up, I had so much strength and power in my body. I know this sounds crazy, but this what took place in my life. And after that, I was able to forgive my mother, and I pleaded her case before the Lord. And before she left. And so I was empowered to complete my book and tell the story.
And that is again how you began to heal too, because that forgiveness, and I want everybody to know this, forgiveness is not for the other person. Forgiveness is to free you, because unforgiveness is drinking poison, expecting the other person to be harmed. It is you drinking it every day. And I know that because this is what it's not. It is not giving them a pass.
Right.
It is not saying what you did was okay. That is not what forgiveness is. That is not it.